Shakespeare in the Park returns to Centennial Park August 20th through September 20th. The Nashville Shakespeare Festival presents A Midsummer Night's Dream, performed outdoors under the stars at the bandshell. Bring a blanket, a chair, and even your dog for a family-friendly summer night in the park with pre-show lectures, live music, food trucks, and more. Admission is pay what you will with reserved seating available. Plan your night at nashvilleshakes.org. Today on CityCast Nashville, it's time for our Friday News Roundup. I'm joined by creative producer Marie Cecile Anderson and executive producer Whitney Pastrick to talk about ICE moving into town, Waymo's watching us, and a freeway that might eat houses. Thankfully, we've got some good news for you, plus our members-only segment called Hell Nah, where this week's rant is about New York City. Get a rope. It's August 21st. I'm your host, Rachel Iacovone, and this is what Nashville's talking about. Before we dive in, I want to remind everybody that these news roundups are supported by our CityCast Nashville neighbors, the folks who give $10 a month or $100 a year. I won't be offended if you pause right now to join us. It just takes a couple minutes, and in turn, you get to hear our members-only segment, Hell Nah, later in this episode. This is your last chance to help us clear out our swag closet. We've only got a few more pennants and tote bags left, and that promotion ends today. So go to membership.citycast.fm/Nashville to snag your swag now.
Yes, and we're about to announce our next CityCast Nashville Neighbors event. We can't tell you what it is just yet. The neighbors are going to hear about it first, but I can promise that it will be outdoors and it will be magical. The other thing we need you to do, because time is running out, is we need you to vote for us in the Nashville Scene's Best of Nashville Awards. We were honored to have won last year. Marie and I had our picture taken in the newspaper.
We put on makeup.
Well, one of us put on makeup. But we looked really cute, and that's the whole reason why people should vote for us now. So if you have not yet voted, go to vote.nashvillescene.com. Remember, you have to vote in 20 other categories in order for your vote to count. So spread the love among your favorite Nashville businesses and people and parks, and they got a category for everything.
That's true. And Linda Anderson, this is directly to you because I texted my mom this morning and asked if she had voted yet. And she said no. And I said, you better vote. And then text the people from church because I think that's how we won last year.
Text the people from church.
Got to get the ladies who lunch.
Let's do it.
That's right.
Enough asks out of us. Rachel, should we do the show?
On with it, I suppose. The Tennessee Lookout has been reporting on an ICE call center that was planned for the tiny town of Adams, Tennessee. It's near the Kentucky border. But all of a sudden, the call center seems to be moving to Nashville.
Ooh.
It's unclear where exactly, but the zip code listed is in the Donaldson area, which is notably near the airport. Whitney, is there anything Nashvillians can do if they don't want this in their neighborhood?
We just saw what residents pulled off about the zoo data center, right? Mm-hmm. And we do have proof that outcry works involving ICE locations. Many of you will remember we talked to the mayor of Wilson County, Randall Hutto, about the ICE detention center that was planned for the Lebanon area. And that didn't end up happening because of the pushback from residents. There was even pushback from Marsha Blackburn on that one. So I would say if folks don't like the idea of an ICE call center moving in near them, it's time to get loud. If you do like the idea of an ICE call center moving in near you, it's also time to get loud. But ultimately, this is a federal call.
I'm glad you mentioned detention centers, though, Whitney, because this is something different. Marie, can you explain what even is a call center?
I will try because I'm a very optimistic person. So when I first heard, an ICE 24/7 support center, I was hoping maybe it was for people who were looking for loved ones who had been detained.
Oh.
No, that is not what we are talking about. What we're talking about here is a call center that would directly support local law enforcement who have entered into cooperative agreements with ICE, which is notably not Nashville. If y'all remember, there was a lot of back and forth after a state law in Tennessee required county sheriffs to enter agreements like that with ICE. But Nashville is exempt because of how policing is structured here. So even though it'll be based in Davidson County, it is likely that ICE will be fielding calls from further out in the state and our country.
I do want to note that while the Tennessee Lookout has not yet gotten a response from ICE on this reporting, Fox 17 did a few days ago when the call center was going to be in Robertson County. The department said, quote, ICE will not confirm new or current office locations as our officers are facing a coordinated campaign of violence against them. They go on to quote statistics I won't repeat without a third-party fact check and the inclusion of stats about violence against those being detained.
Right. Well, speaking of surveillance, this week has been a big one in terms of laying out the web of various technologies at play here in Nashville. Nick Pipitone had a great piece in the Nashville Scene tying everything together. Y'all, basically, his point was that it's not enough to think about Fusus or Leosite or Flock or Skydio drones as like individual entities anymore because they're all integrating with one another now. So we're going to have him on soon to discuss everything he learned in his reporting. But is there anything that is currently standing out to the two of you?
I mean, yeah, the one I'm always thinking about as someone who has to watch a pack of wild Waymos pass my place each morning for the day's hunt. The driverless taxis are apparently, according to Nashville Banner reporter Sarah Grace Taylor, friend of the pod, recording us at all times. The company told her this week that the footage and audio it collects while idling at parks and grocery stores and church parking lots are only maintained for a, quote, reasonably appropriate amount of time, whatever that means. Do y'all feel like the Waymos are watching you in East right now?
Yes. Can I just say, I pulled up behind one and there's a tiny little spinning thing at the all over, but there is a smaller one like on its trunk almost. And it was right at eye level. And I was like, oh my God, it's scanning my face over and over and over again. I'm speculating here, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. And then also, I like to hike, at Shelby Bottoms. In the mornings, I go to the air park. There was one random one just idling right by the air park. Is it filming the deer as well? Is it collecting nature data? Is that a good thing?
I don't know. I don't want to be the person who said I told you so, but I feel like I've kind of been beating this drum since we heard that they were going to come here, and I was told that I needed to shut up and embrace the exciting new driverless technology.
It is fun to ride. There was 4 of us that got in. We didn't have to talk to a man who made us feel uncomfortable,
This feels like the modern version of the bear versus man debate.
Yes.
You're like, I'd still choose the driverless taxi that's scanning my face.
But the good news is that Nashville continues to stand out in terms of resisting a mass surveillance takeover. On Tuesday, Metro Council passed a bill restricting the use of drone technology on second reading. This came in the wake of MNPD's pilot Drone as First Responder program in Madison, which launched without any kind of notice or feedback or real oversight. And this bill, sponsored by Councilmember Sandra Sepulveda, would require council approval and a public hearing to be held before any other drone as first responder programs could be implemented. This passed on a voice vote. I mean, y'all remember the long nights that we've had when Fusus was on the table or the downtown partnership MOU was on the table that involved surveillance cameras. This passed, didn't have to go to the roll. They didn't have to have people punch in their votes on the machine to go to the board. Literally, it just passed on a voice vote. So I don't know, do either of you feel like the tide is turning on law enforcement using surveillance tech, not just here, but around the country?
I have noticed anecdotally people in my life who were very pro this, said this would keep neighborhoods safe, sharing more and more the government is watching you, Big Brother type of things on just their Instagrams. And I'm wondering if that public sentiment, the lay people, to use a church term here, posting on social media has forced some local officials, not just here, but, in my hometown in Florida, to start really evaluating oh, wait, do my constituents even want this?
I love that you bring up Florida because there is a TikTok that's circulating of is there anything more Florida? And there's a woman, I believe, just filming an alligator eating something and then pans over and there's a shirtless man who has clearly just torn down a flock camera walking by and is like, the government ain't gonna watch me. I was like, okay, Florida,
Yeah, that's the Florida I grew up in. Okay.
Can we train the alligators to eat the flock poles? Is that something someone can get
I
to
know.
work on?
Yes.
If anybody can do it, Florida can.
Florida absolutely can.
Well, I mean, you see, even though here, like in Sarah Grace's article, which everyone should go and read, it was really fascinating and somewhat disturbing. There was one woman who was like, wait, that car that sits outside of my house all day is recording everything I do?
But we're still, at the end of the day, holding phones that are doing the exact same thing.
I know. Throw your phones in the river, Marie.
When we come back, we're turning to some easy, non-controversial topics, including highway tolls, the East Bank development, and taxing honky-tonks. Hey Nashville, make plans to skip the yard work, errands, and patio grill duty on September 19th and 20th and head south to Alabama's beaches for Freedom Fest at the Wharf in Orange Beach. It's a fall weekend with live music in the background, a salty breeze in the air, and plenty of room to settle in and actually enjoy yourself. From patriotic tributes to arts and crafts, an array of vendors, a car show, and a kids zone, it's a full Gulf Coast celebration with enough going on for everyone, but never so much that it feels rushed. September is just around the corner, and keep in mind that nonstop flights at Allegiant from Nashville to Gulf Shores get your vacation started quicker. So plan your Freedom Fest getaway today at alabamasbeaches.com. Hey Nashville, it's Rachel Iacovone, host of CityCast Nashville. Every day on this podcast, I try to ask questions that no one else in town is asking. Some might say I'm a little nosy. Others might realize I'm just a zillennial raised on the hot goss blogs. Either way, I'm not here to gatekeep. I'm here to share the answers with you. And as a listener of this show, I know you love being clued into what's going on before anyone else. So if this podcast has ever sparked your curiosity or given you something smart to share at your book club or happy hour, here's what you should do. Support this show by becoming a member of our CityCast Nashville Neighbors program. Our membership program costs just $10 a month or $100 a year, and it comes with some great benefits. But most importantly, your membership helps make sure I can keep asking nosy questions and getting you answers that actually matter. Because I think being curious makes us better neighbors. Go to membership.citycast.fm/Nashville to read about member benefits and join now. That's membership.citycast.fm/Nashville. And thanks for your support. Choice lanes appear to be coming to I-24, whether you like it or not. According to the Tennessee Lookout, the Tennessee Transportation Modernization Board unanimously voted this week to hire a 6-company partnership called Drive TN to build the controversial toll lanes from Nashville to Murfreesboro, apparently because Drive TN offered to pay the state a whopping $25 billion. That's billion with a B over the next 50 years.
Wait, didn't we used to call that a bribe?
I mean, if anybody wants to bribe me for $25 billion, I mean,
What would you do for $25 billion, Marie?
literally anything. Literally anything.
Go out and build those toll lanes yourself. The group is saying that it's hoping to collect enough in tolls to make that money back. It will also be spending a total of $9.2 billion to construct the toll lanes, and the work could also include portions of I-40 and 440 as well. No word yet on how much the tolls will be to use the lanes, but in some other states, motorists are paying from $20 to $47, according to State Representative John Ray Clemens, who opposes the project. Construction will start in 2027 and allegedly last 8 years.
Well, first of all, that should help with traffic. 8 years of them building a platform and additional on and off ramps on I-24 where everyone sits in standstill traffic all the time. That's going to help. That's going to make it great. Also, can I please say it's required by law for me to say just one more lane, bro. Just one more lane's going to fix it.
As I drove to Atlanta in one day this week, they do have choice lanes, and it is just one lane at one part. And there was one car going so slow with like 12 cars behind it. And I was like, you're saving time, my friends, or not, as I drove past them.
Oh, wow.
Our CityCast Nashville editor, Margaret Kingsbury, had a really great roundup of all this information in her newsletter this week, including a story about letters residents along the I-24 corridor are receiving, which tell them that their homes are going to be impacted by this project. According to News Channel 5, Councilmember Jenny Welsh says they could lose more than 30 homes in her Glencliff district alone. This probably also impacts Nashville's new Chinatown development and Pan Asia supermarket.
So I did a little math project. Listeners at home might know I attended theater school, but I did a little math project and I ran the numbers on how much it costs to build light rail. I used the numbers out of Houston because that is where I am from. So in Houston, their newest light rail lines cost $153 million per mile to build. It is 34 miles from Nashville to Murfreesboro. 34 times 153 million is, check my math if you're at home, $5.2 billion, which is less than the $9.2 billion they are going to spend to ruin lives and make expensive, fancy roads for rich people. That would save the state $4 billion if they would just build light rail instead.
You know, pocket change.
What do we need that for?
But where are we going to put the Waymos and the Teslas? I mean, really, is this all connected? This is where my conspiracy theory hat can get on board. Is we have to have the roads because we're getting these autonomous driverless cars. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Sorry.
No, I think it's a valid question. I mean, I'm sure that Lee Beeman is a big fan of these toll lanes.
Yes, 1,000%. But what would life be like with a light rail?
What would it be like? I would go to Murfreesboro a whole hell of a lot more. That's
I would
for sure.
too. And there's so many awesome things in Murfreesboro, but I don't want to drive there because of traffic.
Well, according to News Channel 5, people have until January 14th to file a legal challenge about the lanes. Do we think enough people even know that this is happening?
Not based on Reddit, where people this week were asking, how do we stop this? When TDOT has been holding public meetings about this since August of 2024.
I guess it's good that some more people know now. But I also want to note something that John Ray Clemens posted on Facebook. And this might be worth sharing with your networks of humans or your church group, the church ladies. He noticed that in one of the documents, it said that this construction could eventually include the downtown Nashville inner loop. So the highway that goes between the East Bank and the East Nashville neighborhood. Can you imagine how much stuff they would have to eminent domain for that? And would any of the buildings involve a football stadium? You're not going to eminent domain the football stadium to make that road wider. So what's going down? Congratulations to the people who live in the apartment complex that says East on the side of it. Your houses are freeway now?
We're constantly coming up against this sort of thing that just there's no comment because you cannot believe this is happening in our city.
I was just thinking of my friends who have become recent homeowners in areas that might be at risk now. So I was thinking about sending them this episode. The last bit of news people should know from this week, the other big things that advanced at Metro Council on Tuesday were a resolution to refinance the debt from the Music City Center and a bill transferring $300 million in excess convention center revenue to the aforementioned East Bank. Whitney, what's going on here?
So a long time ago in a city that we would hardly recognize,
Once upon a time,
people decided we needed a convention center. And the financing for that was set up to collect tax revenue from hotels to help pay for the convention center and other tourism-related expenses. As we now know, this plan went very well. We have all of the tourists that anyone could ever dream of. And now the convention center has extra money. So they're doing a couple of things. One, they are refinancing the debt from the Music City Center construction so that the city isn't guaranteeing that loan anymore. And this frees up space within the city's credit rating to then go take on more debt so that we can start an affordable housing bond program. This was something that Mayor Freddie O'Connell announced in his State of Metro address this year. It will help get affordable housing projects off the ground. The second part is where it gets a little more squirrely, and I guess I'm not going to depart cynicism land quite yet. The state Republicans passed a law this year redirecting those tourism tax revenues to the East Bank to help pay for stuff that the city might otherwise be on the hook for, and also to help pay for more marketing to get us more tourists. This legislation also frees up funding so that the convention center can build a $1 billion expansion so that we can get more tourists. The Convention Center Authority has already purchased a neighboring parking garage with the intention of building nearly 600,000 square feet of additional convention space. And although council members like Quinn Evans Siegel and Sean Parker tried to push back on all of this legislation, Delisha Porterfield noted to the Nashville Banner, the council's hands were pretty tied by the state again, as usual.
One more piece of this legislation also says that if enough extra revenue comes into the East Bank, some of it could be redirected to a grants program for downtown businesses. House Speaker Cameron Sexton, who also sits on the East Bank Authority, is so eager to help the honky-tonks that he's also calling on Governor Bill Lee for a special session to explore tax relief for those businesses. According to WPLN, however, Governor Lee is hesitant to call that session, saying he'd rather collaborate with the city on a fix.
Why do downtown honky-tonks need a property tax break when no one else gets help? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me some Roberts.
Why does the convention center get expanded when people don't have places to live?
Well, guys, that's been a really fun segment.
Yeah.
Well, let's hit them with some good news about some other music venues when we come back. Hey, Nashville, make plans to skip the yard work, errands, and patio grill duty on September 19th and 20th and head south to Alabama's beaches for Freedom Fest at the Wharf in Orange Beach. It's a fall weekend with live music in the background, a salty breeze in the air, and plenty of room to settle in and actually enjoy yourself. From patriotic tributes to arts and crafts, an array of vendors, a car show, and a kids zone, it's a full Gulf Coast celebration with enough going on for everyone, but never so much that it feels rushed. September is just around the corner, and keep in mind that nonstop flights at Allegiant from Nashville to Gulf Shores get your vacation started quicker. So plan your Freedom Fest getaway today at alabamasbeaches.com. Hey Nashville, it's Rachel Iacovone, host of CityCast Nashville. Every day on this podcast, I try to ask questions that no one else in town is asking. Some might say I'm a little nosy. Others might realize I'm just a zillennial raised on the hot goss blogs. Either way, I'm not here to gatekeep. I'm here to share the answers with you. And as a listener of this show, I know you love being clued into what's going on before anyone else. So if this podcast has ever sparked your curiosity or given you something smart to share at your book club or happy hour, here's what you should do. Support this show by becoming a member of our CityCast Nashville Neighbors program. Our membership program costs just $10 a month or $100 a year, and it comes with some great benefits. But most importantly, your membership helps make sure I can keep asking nosy questions and getting you answers that actually matter. Because I think being curious makes us better neighbors. Go to membership.citycast.fm/Nashville to read about member benefits and join now. That's membership.citycast.fm/Nashville. And thanks for your support. What's been long known as Nashville's historic rock block might actually be coming back. For folks who don't know, this area of town is Allison Place between Louise Avenue and 22nd Avenue North, which are currently just vacant and abandoned spaces. But this week, the scene reported that Tony Giarratana of Giarratana Development, after years of delay, is finally moving forward with developing his Rock Block Flats, a planned mixed-use residential project that aims to add multifamily housing behind historic storefronts on Allison Place while preserving the neighborhood's nostalgic feel. Apparently, Giarratana has a certain soft spot for the area and has expressed his attachment to local restaurants of the past, like the Gold Rush or Rodier's. Do we really think this dream could become a reality?
I sure hope so. First of all, Marcia and Freddie are going to need more places to crush fortune cookies. But second of all, my doctor's office is right there on 22nd Avenue. And every time I go there for my allergy shots or whatever, I just get so depressed at everything that's gone. If Tony G wants to do it, I say, do it, man.
Yeah, don't make broken promises, though. That's all I got to say. If I could speak to a developer straight to his face, don't lie to us.
She's pouting.
Well, I got some other exciting news. It's going to sound sad, but bear with me. The Tennessean reported this week that after 171 years in business, Levy's Clothiers in Green Hills will close for good at the end of this year. The owners of what is believed to be Nashville's oldest business, they're selling at a time that feels right for their family.
Aw.
Their kids are doing other things. They don't want to take over the family business. David and Ellen Levy are excited about traveling the world together since they won't be running this business.
Aw.
They plan on going to London, Florence, Paris, and New York.
I do like that they're going out on their own terms, but it's another little piece of history. I mean, the place opened like before the Civil War. Enjoy your travels, David and Ellen.
While one store closes, another opens. Remember when it was just Jenny's ice cream in town? Well, folks, there's a lot more frozen treats popping up all over, and they're all giving Jenny's a run for her money. Margaret Lippman wrote this week for The Scene, a guide to the best ice cream spots in Nashville. Ladies, which one stood out to you?
There's so many on her list that I have been planning to go to because there's this frozen yogurt soft serve thing that's going on right now in Nashville that I haven't been hip to. But I really want to try the Sushi San soft serve window that I keep seeing on the TikTok. Apparently just go up to a window and get amazing soft serve. That sounds fun, although you have to go to 12 South for it, but still seems fun. And then Concept here in East Nashville, they do a soft serve with a blueberry vanilla swirl.
Oh.
I would love to get that and then walk around the neighborhood.
And Margaret wrote about Culture Club, of course. We don't need to really talk anymore about them. But I was really excited, as I know, were you, Rachel, to see her include some of these minority-owned ice cream shops. Saraba's is my absolute favorite. It's so rich. It's so delicious. And they have just opened at Lost and Found, our container park food court with no parking over here in East as well. So I'm really excited to have Saraba's on my side of town now.
The saffron ice cream is a hit. I love it. And of course, in that same kind of category, La Michoacana came up. There is like a really great older story from WBEZ in Chicago that explains why all of these places are called Michoacana. They are not the same ownership. You can like pay, I think it's $10,000. I don't want to misquote here. And you get the title of this, and for you as the owner, it kind of alerts other Latinos of the style of ice cream you're going to have, paletas, and you'll have like Doritos chips that are loaded with like gummy worms and stuff. There's kind of crazy things that you associate with this style. I think people associate them with their parfait style things, which have gotten popular, like mangonadas, which is like mango sorbet.
Mangonada. Oh,
yes.
Still my heart.
Listen to our reactions, folks. If you've not had a mangonada, go get one for like $4 right now while it's still hot. I've eaten them in the dead of winter. All right. They're amazing. They have tajin.
It will change your life. Speaking of other great local food institutions that are not closing and are in fact expanding, our friends at Nicoletto's Pasta, they're opening their third location in Mount Juliet this fall. This will be their largest location yet at about 3,000 square feet. And we all love this place. We all eat there constantly. But I'm just really, really happy that this is a local restaurant. It is not a restaurant that came here from, New York. And we're going to get into that in a minute in Hell Nah. But in the meantime, what's going on this weekend?
Shakespeare in the Park's Midsummer Night's Dream kicked off last night and runs till September 7th at the Centennial Park Bandshell. Performances start at 7 o'clock, but go early. Enjoy food trucks. They have a lecture series every night, music. Bring a blanket, sit down, enjoy, talk to your neighbors. We are proud presenting sponsors of this event.
And is this a magical event, Marie?
It's a magical event that you can bring your tote to.
Is it something you would like to attend with your neighbors?
We're just like Taylor Swift leaving Easter eggs.
I know.
Wow.
No one's ever going to put this
smart.
together.
Rachel, what are you excited about this weekend?
Well, I'm going to QDP tonight, which is my first one since moving back. That's Queer Dance Party, for those who don't know. When it's not like the super special Pride version, the 2DP or BooDP, which goes to Brooklyn Bowl and is more expensive. I respect that. You got to get that rainbow capitalism on. But QDP is typically $1. And that's the one to go to. You can miss the bigger ones. I think this is like, if you're just in the neighborhood, it's really awesome. It's at Basement East typically, so that's where I'll be. And also in the morning, if you don't party too hard the night before, there's the Gay Farmers Market that's at Music City Prep. And if you've not been to Music City Prep, it's right next to Canvas in East, and that's from 11 to 3.
I don't really have anything I'm doing this weekend except for soccer, and I feel like we've talked ad nauseum about that. So I want to point out that we're a couple weeks into back to school, and there was a great column in the Contributor, just a little reminder to maybe try to donate some goods with unhoused kids in mind. MNPS estimates that at any time there are about 3,000 to 4,000 MNPS students experiencing housing instability. And the Contributor suggests you can just approach your kid's teacher with donations, whether that's, clean socks or hand-me-down clothes. And MNPS also runs the HERO program. You can reach out to them to see if you can meet any needs. You can learn more about that at mnps.org/departments/hero. So let's make sure that all of our kids are back to school and feeling as comfortable and safe as possible. All right. What time is it?
It's time for our exclusive membership segment that you can only listen to if you are a CityCast Nashville neighbor, called Hell Nah.
Rachel, say it.
Hell nah. I got to get more gusto.
We need you to put more punch behind that.
Maybe I like everything. I've got rose tinted glasses. I've just gotten back. I'm like, oh, I love Nashville. Everything's great here.
Okay, fair enough. Folks, again, this is for our CityCast Nashville neighbors only in their ad-free feed, which is one of the perks they get because they have become CityCast Nashville neighbors. So if you want to listen to this upcoming segment, pause the podcast right now. Go to membership.citycast.fm. Join us. It's $10 a month, $100 a year. You get that pennant. You get that tote bag. After today, you don't get any presents anymore. I'm just kidding. I'm sure we'll come up with more presents. But we want you to be able to hear this Hell Nah, which is, as previously mentioned, about restaurants that are not from Nashville being in Nashville. Hell Nah! You know who was able to listen to that segment?
Yes, our new neighbor. Thank you so much to Amy L., who joined during a time in which she probably either got the pennant or the tote bag. So
Woo-hoo.
I think that's awesome. Send us a pic, maybe on Instagram or something. Tell us which one you got. Thank you. Welcome to the neighborhood.
And to end the show today, we have to remind our listeners that on September 15th, CityCast Nashville presents the Roast of Music City at the Lab at Zany's.
Pew, 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 pew.
Come on out. I'll be hosting. I'm going to be bringing Rachel up on stage. But we have local comedians who have lived here in Nashville almost all their lives, all who are going to be roasting the heck out of Nashville out of love for our city. I just finished writing a song that I will be debuting, roasting Nashville. I'm pretty proud of it. So you can see me rock the ukulele on September 15th. You're going to have to come out. It's going to be really fun. Tickets are still available, but I think we are running out. So you better get yours today.
Nashville.zanies.com, and a reminder that proceeds are going to go to our friends at Open Table Nashville. Okay, that's it. We did it.
We did do it. Happy Friday. Woof, what a week.
We made it. Y'all take care of each other.
Thank you. You too.
You too, Marie.
Thanks, Rachel. You too.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. Best of Nashville voting is open for just a few more days. We would love to have your vote as best podcast. Go to vote.nashvillescene.com and find us in the media and politics category. You've got to vote in 20 categories for it to count, so be sure to spread the love. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Nashville neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. I'm your host, Rachel Iacovone. Our executive producer is Whitney Pasterik. Our creative producer is Marie Cecile Anderson. Our CityCast Nashville newsletter editor is Margaret Kingsbury, with support from Natalia Aldana. Our theme music is by Prof. Jenkins, with additional music by Christian Cincini, Ron Gamache, and James from Triple Scoop Music via Getty Images. Post-production this week was done by Kyle Neal. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our CityCast Nashville newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Pa'lante.